After some time, Valerian asked what kind of tea she would like to have. Rosetta replied she doesn't like wasting magic on useless things. Valerian replied he is having tea with his rose, so why not use it? Rosetta asked why he came all the way to the Crown Prince's palace. Valerian asked, wait, didn't she tell him? Who was it, the one who poisoned her? Rosetta replied he is already dead, either by suicide or he was silenced. She is immune to poison anyway. Valerian stated he will never forgive them. And why did she fall into the lake? Rosetta replied something went wrong with the boat, and then His Majesty lost his consciousness and fell into the lake. Why did he black out all of a sudden? Valerian spoke. Was it due to an unnatural abnormality in his stomach? The most likely cause would be because of a reaction caused by the gradual buildup of a small amount of poison in his system. Rosetta replied if that's the case, it must have been an assassination attempt. Valerian asked if there was anything suspicious in the room. Rosetta replied well, His Majesty's room is so tidy he would wonder if it was really inhabited. Although there is one thing that bothered her, there are some flowers. She remembered it because he insisted on keeping them, even though they had withered. Valerian spoke then he will look into it. He will help her, but he is worried about her. She may be a knight, but she doesn't even have a soul. Rosetta replied not to worry. She always carries a sword that he hides using her mana. Then she thought and an agent of time magic, the sword that His Highness bestowed on her in her first life. Valerian asked if the prince is that important. No matter how many times she tries, Rosetta replied yes because he is the lead she has chosen to serve. Valerian spoke, fine, it's her choice, so he will respect it, but he won't stand for her being in danger either. From now on, he is going to actively intervene. Rosetta hugged him while saying thanks. Then she thought in every regression, for helping her, this time for sure, she will make this life her last. The next scene, Rosetta thought she will have to lie about having seen a priestess, about the flower. Valerian said he will let her know the result by tomorrow. The flowers were not the cause because those flowers were from Lady Lunella. Then, after some time, Rosetta read the letter from Valerian in which he said the flowers in that vase are the culprit, and the ship's circuitry unit also showed signs that it had been tampered with. Rosetta thought it's just as she thought. Is it because she became a maid this time? There are many surprises. There are many changes. She cannot relax and let her guard down. Then, in the prince's room, Rosetta asked if his room is a little cluttered for some reason. Prince also asked if she met the priestess. What did they say? Rosetta replied, yes, she can live longer than she thought because she is healthier than expected. Prince spoke, only a few days longer at most. Rosetta thought, no, it's much, much longer than he thinks. Then she said she will get to cleaning. Prince stated don't touch it. He doesn't want to make her do any chores. Rosetta replied, but that's her job as a maid, Prince stated. Just don't overdo it and faint. She is glad she drank the poison. Then she said she is His Highness's exclusive maid. It is her pleasure to serve him wholeheartedly. Please don't take that joy away from her. Then she thought if she doesn't come here to clean, how will she run into him? The next moment, Madame LeBlanc came and said what happened yesterday. How could something like that happen to him? Prince replied she must have heard the rumors. He is fine, so don't cry. After that, she spoke he has kept and arranged the flowers she gave him. She told him they were wilted, and she would give him new ones, but he kept them. Prince replied he kept it because Madame gave it to him. Rosetta thought the precious person was Madame, not Lady Lunella. Madame is this special person Prince mentioned. Madame LeBlanc is the nanny who raised Prince. It is only natural that Madame cares for him. Prince asked if she remembers who she entrusted the flowers to. Madame replied she left it to the head maid. She insisted that she would give it to him. Rosetta thought then Madame is not the culprit. She has no motive to kill someone who is like her own son. But Countess Milliam, the head maid, on the other hand, is the confidant of the Empress. Then is this the work of the Empress? It would make sense as to why there is so little evidence left. Then after some time, Madame spoke. Is the lady the prince's new maid? She wonders how long she will last. Rosetta replied she doesn't need to worry. It is her pleasure to look after the prince. Madam asked if she doesn't mind. Can she ask her a favor? Rosetta replied, for His Majesty's sake. Of course, Madam stated then she would like her to watch over His Majesty at night. Rosetta replied since it was night time, she could not grant such a request. Madam stated she apologized. She didn't mean it like that. She means she wanted her to go to his room after dinner and keep an eye on things. Rosetta replied she gets it. Madam shouldn't worry. But what if His Highness doesn't like it? Madam spoke. If he says anything, tell him she requested it, then he won't be able to say anything. She is glad he has a good person like her by his side. The next scene, the head maid stated a grown woman visited so often, it will cause more unnecessary rumors. She has a warning for her, if she values her life, do not try to get close to His Highness. Don't be foolish enough to enter the prince's chamber late at night. Then at night, Rosetta thought she has already regressed 4 times, but it's the first time she noticed that the head maid doesn't like Madame LeBlanc. Oh no, has she been failing because she missed such relationships? Then at the prince's room, Rosetta thought if this is how he normally is, it's fine. Suddenly, Prince opened his eyes. Prince then grabbed her hand and threw her onto the bed. Rosetta stated she apologizes. It's a misunderstanding. Madam asked her to do this. Then she thought, is he sleepwalking? First, she should get out carefully. What is this man doing? Please come to his senses. Then she hit him and threw him onto the bed. She thought this is not like him. He feels like a beast, not a human being. Rumors of His Majesty's insanity were not due to his eccentric personality, but because of this illness. She wondered if he did this to the other maids. No, for now, she needed to do something about this first. Rosetta stated, Your Highness, excuse me for a moment. Then after some time Prince asked, what is she doing here? Rosetta replied she didn't come here for no reason. Prince asked her to tell him what she saw. Rosetta replied he didn't talk, and he is very strong. As soon as he saw her, he jumped on her. Prince spoke he must have looked like an animal, following his instincts without inhibition. Then he thought when he was sleeping, he committed another act of violence. Rosetta thought just as she thought, the other maids were also attacked. Prince apologized for what just happened. It must have been tough, but how did she do it? Rosetta replied she has said it before, she is secretly very strong. If he doesn't believe her, would he like to try arm wrestling? Prince stated she suggested it, so don't whine if she loses. Then he thought no matter how arrogant she acts, once she sees the result, she won't be able to act that way again. Suddenly, Prince thought, but what kind of woman is this strong? Rosetta stated, well, she is naturally good at it thanks to her strong grip. Is he done? Then she won the fight. Prince was shocked. Rosetta spoke, Your Highness, since she have won, she will ask him one question. Is he going to kick her out too? Come to think of it, she didn't tell him her wish for the day. He said he would grant her 1 wish per day. Please don't fire her. That is her wish. Prince asked why she's not afraid of him. Rosetta replied because he didn't do it on purpose, and because he is a good person, and she still wants to stay by His Highness' side. Prince thought somniamia. It is a mental illness that is said to be incurable. For 3 years, he did not know the cause or the name of the disease. After finding out about his disease, the first prince used it as an excuse to attack him. After seeing him in this state, there were no surviving servants. However, Rosetta saved his life twice because she is a special maid. Then Prince said he thinks she should move into the room next to his. He is talking about her waiting on him at night. Rosetta replied, Yes, Your Highness. Prince thought rather than calling her special, she is rather strange, he would say she is a unique maid. The next morning, Valerian spoke, she made it to the right place, so what was she doing in his room at dawn? Please tell him it's just a rumor. Did she really go there? Rosetta asked why is he so angry? Valerian replied there is a rumor that she slept with the crown prince last night. Rosetta shouted, but who on earth spread such rumors? Valerian stated so that was a rumor too. He knew it, he thought he was overreacting. After that, Rosetta stated she would tell him about what has happened so far. Then she told him the whole story. Valerian spoke. He doesn't like the fact that she is regressing because of that guy. Rosetta thought for some reason, the Valerian in this life seems to really hate the prince. Valerian cleaned her face, then said what is he going to do about her exclusive maid position? If she is not suitable for it, how about just working in his lab in this life? Rosetta grabbed his hand, then said if he is going to eat, he should eat properly. There is a little bit left here. Valerian thought, when did his cute little sister become such a sophisticated woman? Then he asked, is she really not going to think about it? Rosetta replied, if he wants to look good for her, there is something she really wants to ask for, a list of all existing poisons. Can he make something that detects poison? They already have something like that, but the range is narrow, and the types of poison it can detect are limited. Valerian asked if it's because of the crown prince. He doesn't like that guy, but of course, he will help because he hates to see her in danger. The next scene, Rosetta thought she didn't have much to move, so she finished quickly. Melanie came and asked if she slept with the crown prince last night. Rosetta replied absolutely not. She just fell asleep on the sofa while cleaning. Melanie asked then why is she moving rooms? Rosetta replied because she is the prince's exclusive maid, and she has to be close. Then Melanie asked if the person she said she wanted to get close to is the prince. Rosetta replied yes, that's right. Prince thought, does Rosetta like him? Has she liked him all this time? Richard said, bow lower. The knight spoke. He is sorry, Rosetta. Then Rosetta said, Sir Richard, don't be so hard on him. Richard replied, no, he's not. He doesn't like that guy. He spread the rumors, so he has to correct his behavior now. The next scene, Prince is staring at her. Rosetta thought, what's going on with him today? Then she asked His Highness, did she do something wrong? Prince replied, it's nothing, don't mind him. Rosetta spoke, is he feeling unwell? His face looks red. Look at him. Prince thought she doesn't know that he overheard her conversation, so that's why she has been acting like that until now. That woman is just following him because she likes him, not because she wants something from him. Why is his heart so confused? And why does he feel so conscious of that woman? Rosetta stated she is done cleaning, then asked if she could make a wish today. Prince asked what it is. Rosetta told him, please call her by her name. He have never called her by her name before. Prince asked why he should use her name. Rosetta replied, it's a different feeling when someone special calls her by name. Prince thought, someone special? She is being a little too obvious. Then he said, fine. He will call her when he needs her. Then asked what the priest said today. Rosetta replied, they said she is very healthy, and she will live a long life. Prince stated, okay, she can leave when she is done with her work. After some time, Rosetta thought she is worried because His Highness is behaving differently. What if something went wrong? Mistress came and told her Countess Milliam is looking for her. Rosetta thought if it is Countess, she would be the current Empress's confidant. Why would such a person want to meet her? The next scene, the Countess asked if she is the exclusive maid of His Highness, the Crown Prince, whom she has heard so much about. It's uncommon for His Highness to keep an exclusive maid. She has a pretty face, Rosetta thought. During times like these, she has to pretend not to understand, then replied, thanks. The Countess asked, that's right. Did she enter His Majesty's chamber last night with her vulgar body? Rosetta replied, Madame Leblanc instructed me to replace the firewood in His Highness's room. The Countess said she is just curious. Did she see anything strange in His Highness's room last night? Rosetta thought, does she know something? No, the Countess only knows what her maid knows. They only know that the servants who sneaked into His Highness's room died, because of his personality becoming savage at night. Then she spoke something strange. He slept without making a single sound. She was worried that something was wrong with him. The Countess said, just as she thought, how dare she lie to her, but do she know? She really disliked people who are not honest. Cut off her tongue. Suddenly, nights came. Rosetta thought she can easily take these guys down with a single blow, but if she shows off her skills here, it will raise suspicion. Then she spoke, she not lying. The knight stated, hold stills. Is that the last thing she wished to say with her your tongue intact? Rosetta thought, let's stay calm. Would it be better to use force and escape, or would it be better to give up my tongue and protect His Majesty's secret? Yes. It hurts, but Valerie will help her recover. Then Rosetta stated, she can't help it if the Countess wishes to punish her, but she really doesn't know anything. Then she thought, for the sake of His Majesty, the pain is only temporary. The next moment, the first prince came and asked, what is this? Are they having fun? The Countess asked, what brings His Majesty all the way here? Prince replied, he came to visit her mother, but he is also interested in this poor maid, and since the pretty young lady is in trouble, he can't just leave. The Countess told him that child is not worthy of his interest. She is the personal maid of His Highness the Crown Prince, Prince stated. And that's even better, follow him. Rosetta thought he is the most annoying person she has ever met. In her previous life, he taunted her and laughed at her for being a knight as a woman. She is glad it stopped before she got hurt. She hates getting involved with this guy. Prince stated, so, Rosetta, as she know, he saved her from a dangerous situation. He wonders if she will repay him for this. Rosetta asked, what repayment? Prince spoke, is she pretending not to know? Of course, he means she have to repay him with her body. He is the first prince of the empire and Armand's competition for the throne. Even though he was born as a prince, unlike the second Prince Armand, he was not paid much attention. He was raised by the Countess, as he was a child of inherited imperial blood. He is notorious for his bad habits. One beating, this piece of trash needs to be beaten. First, the foot. Suddenly, the second prince came and said he wondered where she went. What is she doing here? Come here, Rosetta. Then Rosetta thought, did he just call her by name? He is unexpectedly delicate sometimes. Then she said, yes, His Majesty. The first prince thought, what was that strength just now? Armand asked, but what were he doing to his maid? Prince replied, he came all this way looking for a mere maid, instead of paying attention to such a lowly thing. Why doesn't he focus on getting engaged? If he looks good in front of his mother now, who knows, maybe she will pick a good fiancé for him. Rosetta thought, since the emperor's health is not good, the right to choose the fiancé would belong to the empress. That's why the second prince kept putting off his engagement. Armand asked, why doesn't he worry about himself? He has to keep an eye on him since it seems like he is trying to harass the young ladies, or is it because he is unhappy about having to marry a fiancé of such a lowly status? The first prince thought he doesn't think he can become the emperor as long as Armand exists. Then he tried to attack him. The second prince thought he can dodge a punch like that if he really wanted to, but he can also use it politically if he gets hit hard enough. Then suddenly, both of them were shocked. Rosetta was on the ground. First, the prince started, she isn't dead, right? If she gets out, his reputation will be ruined as the prince who beat up a maid in broad daylight. Then he started running away. The second prince shouted, don't think he can get away with this. Then he thought, no, he has to calm down and focus on Rosetta rather than that guy. Why is she always trying to protect him like this? Rosetta opened her eyes and said, did he leave? Prince was shocked. Rosetta asked, how was her acting? Was it convincing enough? Then she thought, there is no way she would get hurt by a guy like that. Prince asked, why did she do such a dangerous thing? Rosetta replied, of course, it's because she wanted to protect him. Rosetta thought he must be angry. Maybe it was shocking to see a woman get hit right in front of him. He wouldn't even dream of her being a sword master. Prince picked her up and said, stay still. He will take her to a priest. Rosetta thought, does this man have no sense of shame? She said, it's too embarrassing to be taken to the temple like this. Wouldn't it be better to call a priest to His Majesty's chambers? Prince replied, okay, fine. She is sick, but she is still talking a lot. In the next scene, Richard asked why he's out here and not in the room. Prince replied, because of Rosetta. She said she didn't want to be seen being treated. Then he thought he felt like he would become strange if he stayed beside her for too long. Whenever he saw that maid, his heart fluttered, and his face grew hotter. At the same time in the room, Rosetta thought, it's true that Theodore is a talented priest. It seems like he won't be recognized for his abilities this time around either. as he has fallen out of favor with the Archbishop. That's a good thing for His Highness. Rosetta stated what she is about to tell him is confidential. His Highness is considering hiring him as his exclusive priest. Then the priest was shocked and asked, "What, seriously?" Rosetta thought, he is not on the Archbishop's side. That means he is not with the Empress either. They can bring him over to their side. After some time, Prince asked him a question. Apparently, Rosetta ingested sitar before. Rosetta cut his sentence and asked if she has something urgent to tell him. Then she whispered something. Prince stated, "Thanks for his hard work, he can go now." Prince asked, "Is she coming to his room tonight? What on earth is she talking about?" Rosetta replied, "He said that last time. He often experiences symptoms on days when he is under a lot of stress." Prince stated, "But he is not even the one who is stressed." Then at night, Rosetta said, "His Majesty." Wait, Rosetta thought, this is a problem. This sunfish crown prince. He is more elegant aristocrat than she has ever seen in her life. Now he looks more like an animal than a human, revealing such embarrassing desires. Somniamia. It's an illness that supposedly has no cure, but since the Archbishop is on the side of the first prince, he must have lied. The cause is most likely a powerful curse, which happens to be the only type of magic Valerian can't handle. Did he run away because she held on too tight? Perhaps he really turned into the beast. His Highness, what is this? It's gonna be fun. Don't he want to play? Doesn't it look like fun? If it seems to be more enjoyable than she thought. Wait, His Highness, wait. She said no. Climb onto the bed. She is in charge tonight, and she will teach him what the word no means. There is something she noticed when teaching her cat, that they have to be patient when teaching a beast, and after several regressions, this is what she is most confident about. The next day, Richard asked His Highness if he's still sleeping. Can he come in? Prince thought his head. Did he have an episode last night? Then he replied, yes, come in. Prince thought, why is his quilt so puffy? Then he was shocked. Why is she here? Richard asked His Majesty if he's feeling okay. Prince replied that he doesn't feel well. Rosetta opened her eyes. Shocked, Prince stated, never mind that. Just go ahead with his report. Rosetta thought, how could she dare to fall asleep in her lord's bed? Prince thought he is afraid she will hear his heartbeat. The rational part of him wants to distance himself. But at the same time, he also has the desire to get closer. Up until now, he thought all of this was due to a sense of guilt. However, there's this inexplicable desire boiling inside him. The stifling of his body against his will couldn't be explained by such emotions alone. He finally has to admit it. He is attracted to this strange servant. After some time, when Richard is gone, Prince asked, what on earth is she doing here? Rosetta replied, it's a misunderstanding. She stayed up all night dealing with His Highness' illness and ended up falling asleep. Prince asked, she controlled it? Rosetta replied, yes, as she kept talking to him. His Highness gradually became more calm. Then she thought it was more like training than control. Prince thought no matter how many priests came, it was useless. Couldn't be that his feelings for Rosetta influenced it. And he said it's all thanks to her. He is grateful. Is she not going to be asking for a favor today? He is talking about that wish of hers. Rosetta replied, of course, she wants to go to the library with him. Prince replied, he can lend her his access card. Rosetta asked, now it's only meaningful if they go there together. Prince thought, does she want to go on a date? Rosetta thought that way. It's easier to protect him. Then at the library, Prince thought, how can he make a good impression on a date? Funny, he never thought he would regret rejecting every woman who approached him. Then he said, let him help her. He pretty much knows where each book is placed. Rosetta thought, why is he so close? The maids are talking about them. Rosetta replied she was looking for a book on pet training. She recently adopted one. Then she will borrow it because she wants to take her time reading it. After some time, she asked Valerian what he was doing here. Valerian replied that he came to see her. Prince was coming their way, so Rosetta said quickly hide her. Valerian replied, sure, since it's her request. Prince thought there was no one, so she's not here. Valerian thought they weren't even close before. Why do they feel so strange? She seemed like a different person to him, someone he didn't know well. She's now in her 20s. For most young ladies, this is the age to start dating. Rosetta asked what kind of magic item this is. Valerian replied it's a magic robe. It also has a noise cancellation effect. Then he said, take this. Rosetta thought it carries a faint aura of magic. It's evident a high-level magic spell has been cast upon it. Valerian stated to give it to the prince, in case of a dangerous situation. It's enchanted to allow her to teleport instantly. Rosetta asked how he knew. Valerian replied because he thought she wouldn't have time to come and meet him due to her duties as a bodyguard, and this is a necklace connected to cuff links. If a maid wears something that seems conspicuously expensive, it would attract attention, so he made it look like a fake. Of course, it still suits her. Rosetta thought it looks like a couple accessory. Rosetta replied, thanks, now she will go see His Highness. Valerian said, wait a minute, he wants to put on the necklace for her. She hasn't done this kind of thing much. Then he asked if she told the prince that she's not dying. Rosetta replied, not that she will tell him someday. After some time, Prince asked where she went without saying anything. Rosetta replied she apologizes. Time flew by while talking with a friend. Prince stated, do she know how much? Then he stopped. Rosetta asked, were he worried about her? Prince replied yes, he was worried. Don't disappear like that without his permission in the future. Rosetta thought he seemed to be paying extra attention to her today. It must be because he feels sorry. Then she said, His Highness, she has something to give him. Prince thought these are cufflinks. How did she manage to buy such an expensive item with her salary? Did she want to wear matching couple items, so she bought something that's difficult to afford just by using a maid's salary? But there is no need to push herself that much for him. Then he said thanks. He will wear it every day. He couldn't prepare a gift, though. Rosetta said it's okay. She doesn't expect anything in return. Prince said he can't let that happen. He has a nature that insists on repaying what he has received. He doesn't think she has many clothes, so he will call a designer. Rosetta replied, no, it's okay. Her friend will buy her clothes on her day off. Prince said, okay, shopping must be enjoyable for girls. Rosetta said, no, that friend is a guy. Prince asked, going to buy clothes with a male friend, that's unusual. Rosetta told him that her friend has a better eye for fashion than most girls. Her friend would be carefully selecting each item. Prince stated to cancel her plans for the day off. He will take her shopping. Nothing comes to mind that's better than clothes. Rosetta asked, why is he suddenly? Prince spoke. Could it be that his taste seems lacking compared to his friend? Then let's go out tomorrow afternoon. Rosetta thought, why is he doing this? Then, in the carriage, Rosetta thought, why do these things keep happening in this life? No, since she is going out, she should enjoy herself. She will have fun on her day off with Valerian. Prince thought, was not the dressing room space only for engaged couples or longtime lovers to go to? He can't believe he is feeling jealous. In the next scene, Melanie asked, is she seriously going out like that? She said she has a date with His Highness today. Rosetta replied, no, it's not that. It's just a reward for helping His Highness before, and he won't pay much attention to her appearance. Melanie said, no, at least for the sake of the royal image, she should dress up. Come on, hurry up and follow her. After some time, Rosetta was ready for the outing. She said, greetings, His Highness. Prince was shocked. Like this video. Hit the like button and subscribe for more videos.